post it. So if you're going through with your own numbers, you can, you know, you'll see the process.
And then work
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on.
instead of just.
Yep. We're just going to go through the whole thing. You can follow along if you want, or you can watch the video later and follow along with that. It's up to you.
So many questions.
What if we want to watch it later so we can just skip ahead and find our problem?
That would be fine. That'd be fine.
Do we have to sit through this whole class then?
Technically, no, but if you had questions, that'd be a good time to ask them now. If you're just not feeling up to it or whatever, that's on you, I guess. But there's a possibility that the recording may fail, so that would kind of be a problem if that happened.
Wait, Mr. Stella, where do you post the video at?
So
Probably in the classroom, bud.
do you remember a while ago I posted topics in algebra?
Mm-hmm.
If you go there, I post the videos.
Wow.
I post the videos that we do
Oh, okay.
into there. So that same playlist will just have videos added to it.
Well, what are you eating today, bud?
That's not important.
Big Mac bowl.
You just eating a regular bowl?
Calm down. Okay. Can you guys see this okay on your end?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't really remember saying
We'll just go through these. I'll ask you guys to sort of, I'll see the question, but we'll do one of your examples with your numbers. So just, okay. Let me pull this out, and then we'll use your number. It's when I set my hand on the screen, it doesn't protect the. I don't think it does that. It really just doesn't make it anyway. All right.
We're rolling.
All right. So let's do number one. Let's go ahead with your numbers.
It says the equation of the line with a slope of -2 goes through the point -2 and -7 can be written in the equation of 1 equals m.
Good. So they told us what the slope of the line was. They told us a point that the line goes through. They want us to write the function in the form y equals mx plus b.
Yeah. And well, it says it can be written in the form like, but then it says where m is.
Yeah.
And the answer and then where b is. And then
They want to know m, and they want to know b. So they told us the slope, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what letter in this equation represents this?
y.
Not y.
Oh, it's -7 is the y.
That's
And then-
right.
Oh, and then
What's the slope?
this is the -2.
Yes. What letter represents the slope?
M.
M, right? So when they say what's m, do we know that already?
M is in -2.
Yes. Yeah. That's one of them. Yeah, and now we only need to find b. So we have one equation. We know that
Wait, why is m equal -2?
because they told us the slope is.
This is how math works.
I don't know. So mine is -3.
So I'm just going to rewrite this equation. I'm going to write what y is from this point, -7. That's going to equal
Equals
the
-2.
slope. And then the x value is also -2 in this example. And b is the only unknown value. So one equation, we can solve that for one unknown.
So you're gonna have times when we go there.
Yeah, which makes
4.
good.
Then you're gonna do -4 to both sides.
Very good. We want to get b by itself. And that gets b by itself on one side. And that is what?
-1.
Yeah.
So
So that's your answer for the second part. Does that make sense?
yeah, that's it.
Everybody following along, or you can do it later, but
I mean,
it doesn't hurt. All right, number 2. Any questions on that one, I guess?
Ooh, yeah.
You have a question on one, I mean, number one? Were you
Oh,
okay?
no, number two.
Okay, then number two. All right, so they show me C as a function of N. They're talking about the cost, the monthly charge. That's going to be in dollars. How much do you pay in dollars? So that means the right-hand side, that shows that you pay $25 just to have the service, and then you're going to pay 9 cents for every minute after that. So if you have no minutes, 0 for N, you will pay $25 anyway. But if you have 1 minute, you'll pay 9 cents. If you have 2 minutes, you'll pay 18 cents. It just multiplies the number of minutes by 0.09 or 9 cents. 9/100ths of a dollar. So the first thing says, what is the slope of the equation? Remember from y equals mx plus b form, m is the slope, and it multiplies the variable x. So what would our slope be in this one where the variable is written as m?
0.09.
Yeah, that's it. That would be the slope because it multiplies the variable. Every time I increase n by 1, I get another 9 cents added on. So that would be my slope, my rate of change.
So for the second part, you already wrote your.
Yeah, I kind of already gave the answers to that. Sorry.
How do I know what mine is?
Let me show you. It'll be the same. It'll be. So your formula was the cost, which you know will be in dollars, equals 25. Those must be dollars. And then you're going to add a dollar amount. That's 9 cents is a dollar amount. So the units of this thing, you know, it's a number of minutes. So in order for this to work out to be dollars, this would have to be dollars per minute. That way, when I multiply by minutes, the minutes will cancel, and I'll get dollars. I'm adding on dollars. So it's got to cancel, because you're multiplying by a number of minutes, and you want it to end up being a number of dollars, the units would have to be dollars per minute. Does that make any sense? If you've done unit conversions, that might make more sense. If not, just go with it for this one, and we'll have practice where you'll get better at that in the future. Yeah. Yes. Okay. The vertical intercept, that's what you pay. Remember, the graph is the vertical intercept is somewhere along here. That's where you intersect the vertical axis. That's when your horizontal value is at 0. That's where that happens. So when you pay nothing, or when you do no minutes, what do you pay from that equation?
25.
Yeah, in this case, it'd be 25.
So the slope would be
The cents.
the cents.
Yeah. It's going to be dollars per minute, assuming they say that the monthly charge is in dollars. Are we good? Okay. Let's go to number 3 then. This one is a clothing business finds that there's a linear relationship, so it makes a line, between how many shirts they can sell and the price that they sell per shirt. Now, this one seems a little weird, but I think there's like a volume discount, so the more shirts you order at once, the less you pay per shirt. So as you get more shirts, the price per shirt actually goes down. So it seems confusing at first, but I think that's what they're doing. So N represents the number of shirts, P represents the charge. Who wants to use their numbers for me? They're going to give us 2 examples of number of shirts and how much they paid per shirt.
Oh, 3,000 shirts and $33. But then it says, well, 4,000 shirts can be sold at the price of $29.
Okay. So there's a volume discount. If you get up to 4,000, you pay less per shirt. And is there a formula like P equals N plus B?
Yeah.
So this is just like the Y equals MX plus B. They're just using N for the number of shirts. That's the independent variable. And P is the price per shirt. All right, so this is, I don't know how much experience you guys have with this from Algebra 1, maybe even towards the end of geometry. You probably did some stuff with lines. But we call these systems of equations when you have more than one equation with more than one unknown. So in this case, our 2 unknowns are the slope and the intercept, m and b. So we need 2 equations to solve for 2 unknowns. We're going to form those equations with this, and using the 2 separate examples, we're going to write 2 equations. The price is 33 when the n value is 3,000. We don't know m or b. We also have another equation that the price is 29 when we have 4,000 shirts, and still we don't know m or b. So we have 2 equations, 2 unknowns. Have you guys had where you've had like 2 equations, 2 unknowns before? Do you remember that at all? No? Okay. So we should go over that then. We have 2 methods for combining equations to make a new equation. You really can't solve an equation unless there's only one unknown in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 equations, combine them to make a new equation, in the hopes that we can make a new equation that only has one of the variables in it. So the strategy is basic. It's not that complicated. Imagine that I had something like this. X is equal to 3. This is just a different example. Let me log you back in. Funny way to say it, coming back to the room. All right, so imagine I have this equation. It's really basic. X is 3. And I know another equation that y is 2. If I know 2 statements and I know that they're true, I can always make a new statement by combining those 2. I can add the left-hand sides. So x plus y equals, now add these, 5. If x is 3 and y is 2, then I know x plus y is 5. I can do that. I could even subtract them. I could say x minus y is 1. So I can always make a new equation from 2 other equations just by adding or subtracting the sides. That's what we're going to do. In this case, the way we want to do it is we want to eliminate one of the variables. So I want to eliminate the b's because I just got 1 b in both of these. So they're going to be the easiest variable to eliminate. If I subtract these 2 equations from each other, b minus b will make 0. I'll get rid of my b's if I subtract these 2 equations. So that's what I'm going to do. 33 minus 29 on the left-hand side, what does that give me? Yeah, so I'm just subtracting. 4. 3,000m, you don't have to worry about the m, they both have a factor of m. 3,000 minus 4,000, negative 1,000m. I'm just moving the m to the other side, it's still multiplying by m. And then I've eliminated the b, because b minus b is 0. So now I have one equation with one unknown. I can actually solve for m now. This process is called elimination because we eliminated the b. So m will equal -4 over 1,000, which 4 cancels with 100 to make 25. So that should be about -1 over 250.
So what's P? That's what it's asking for.
It's asking for p.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just got m. That's one of our variables. Once you have one of them, you can plug it back into either of the other two. It doesn't matter which. Plug it back in to one of your original equations, and then you can solve for the other one. Because now there's only one unknown left. So 33 equals -1 over 250 times 3,000 plus b. Now we can solve that for b. Does that make sense?
I can't see. So like, do you subtract the m and then the number that's behind it too? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I did 33 minus 29,
Okay.
and that gave me 4. I did 3,000 m minus 4,000 m,
Oh,
and
okay.
that gave me -1,000 m. And then the b's went away.
So let's say I have a bigger number on the bottom. Can I just switch them, or does that not?
You got to keep with the bigger number on the bottom.
Okay.
You can divide them. That's basically what I did, 1,000 divided by 4, and I got 250. But the 250's got to be in the bottom. Because it's a fraction, it's going to reduce. All right, so all I did was then I took that value of m, and I'm plugging it into either one of my original equations. They both had 2 unknowns, but now that I know m, I'm down to 1 unknown. For me, if I divide 3,000 by 250, I should get -12, I believe. And if I add 12 to both sides, I get 45. If I did that multiplication right.
So where'd you get that? Because I see that 33 equals -1 over, and I can't see what that's.
1 over 1 over 250.
Oh,
When you had m over here, where you had -1,000 equals 4, -1,000 m equals 4, and you divided by the -1,000, you solved for m. That's your value of m.
okay.
So plug that back into one of the originals and solve it for the b. Unblocking. Is that okay? Ready for the next one? All right, this one we have 2 points, and we have the equation of a line. We want to come up with the y equals mx plus b form of the line. Let me just explain kind of what we have. So you should have 2 points, right? So we'll use one of your values. Who wants to use their numbers?
You can do mine.
Okay, what's your points?
For the first one, I have -9 and -48. And then for the second, I have -2 and -13.
All right. So it looks to be going up. If I imagine drawing this thing, at -9, it's way down here. At -2, it's not as far down. So it seems to be going up to some degree as we go to the right. Or something like that. Now, the way to think about this so that you can remember how to do this in the future. You have a question?
It's for this one. So yeah.
You have a question on this
I
one?
didn't even.
Yeah, for this one. So
It's-
you're fine. Just keep on going.
I just wrote it for B.
For B,
For
the last
question
one?
number 3, yeah.
Okay. I think I did write it. It was 45, wasn't it?
Hmm,
45, was it good?
Yeah.
I think it's 45.
Okay.
Okay, so the thing to notice here is that when you have the equation of a line, if I went from -9 to -2, and I found the rise over run, if I took that ratio, it'd be an equivalent fraction to if I took the rise over run from -2 to 0. I'd get a similar fraction. Or if I went all the way, anywhere on this line, I'm going to get an equivalent fraction when I compare the rise over run. The slope is always the same on a line. So that means no matter how you calculate the slope, a slope will always be the same as slope, no matter if you use 2 different points over here, 2 different points over here. So we're going to think of those points as -9, -48. We have -2, -13. And we're going to imagine another point where we just leave it as a variable, x and y. And to get this is called 2-point form. We're going to find the rise over run using 2 scales. And then we're going to find the rise over run using this generic form and either one of the other ones. So we'll start with the first 2 that they gave us. Let's take the difference of the y value to find the rise. How do we do? We're going to go in order. I'm going to say -13 minus -48. That's the difference between the y values. Does that make sense? All right, because I took a value from the lower pair set and I subtracted the one from the upper set, I gotta be consistent with that. So it doesn't matter which one I start with, but I gotta be consistent. So I'm gonna do -2 minus a -9. So subtracting that negative and adding. So -13 plus 48. That's like 48 minus 13. Good.
Yeah.
And then 9 minus 2. Good. So the slope is 5. That's the slope. That's just the slope. And we're going to set that equal to, we're going to, yeah. So we're going to take the rise over run again, but this time we're going to, instead of using those 2 points, we're going to use one with the variable, and then either of the other 2 points, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to say y minus, we got to do the rise, so y minus any of these numbers, I guess, how about -13 for the smaller numbers? And underneath that, I'm going to write x minus -2. Because the rise over run should be the same no matter where we do it. So that becomes, if I rewrite that, it's y plus 13 over x plus 2. Is that okay so far? All right, now we just got to rewrite this thing so it's in the correct form. I'm going to multiply, you can multiply x plus 2 on both sides. So this will become 5 times x plus 2 equals y plus 13. All I have to do now is distribute the 5. And then I'll subtract 13 eventually. This will give me 5x plus 10 equals y plus 13. And then,
Did you subtract 13?
yes, yes. That gives me y is equal to, what do you got?
Oh, it would be like positive 10.
Yeah, -3, yeah. So 5 minus 3. That's it.
You don't have to.
But this, if it says y equals in the question, don't type y equals because they already got one, you know?
So then just put x. minus
Yeah.
2. Can you look at mine?
You want to do yours?
Or can you look at your example?
Okay, sure.
After that person's one, can we do mine?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Okay.
Give me a second to look at. Okay.
So, where do I go to?
Damn it, so mad.
What I did here, if I multiply both sides by this, it'll cancel on the right, but I'll have this multiplying by 5. So you'll have 5. You'll have -8 times,
So -8.
kind of like this. Yours will be -8 times.
So -8x plus. What's that? Yeah. Well, it's not -7, it's just minus. So, go anything? And then. And then.
6.
Wait, so then the one who. Then my answer would be y equals 8x. Yeah, -8x minus 6.
All right, Jacob. You had, what were your points?
-4, 25, and then 1 and -5.
All right. So yours is going down because when you're to the left at -4, you're high up. But as you go,
Yeah.
it's dropping. So we should have a negative slope.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to consider a point using variable coordinates that we're just going to call x and y. So all I want to do is find the rise over run using point A and point B. And then I want to find the rise over run using either of those points with C. So I'll do A and B first. We'll say the y there, -5, minus the other y, 25. And then we'll do the x1 minus the other x, -4. That'll give me the rise over run between those 2 points. On the other side, I'm going to do the rise over run using, let's say, B and C. So I'll say y minus -5 over x minus 1. So it's just two instances of rise over run. Then I'll just simplify at this point. -5 minus 25 is -30. And 1 minus the -4 is 1 plus 4, so that's 5. And over here, we have y plus 5,
Can I have one more, Sean?
or y x minus 1. Yeah. Are you okay with this, Jacob?
Yeah.
Okay. This is equivalent to a -6. 30 divided by 5 is 6. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by the thing that's on the bottom here. So it cancels over here. X minus 1 is some number. If x were 10, it would be 9. But you can always do what you do with any number. Cancel it here and move it to the other side. And then we have to distribute the, well, I'll write it like this. Then we just have to distribute this -6 into the two terms.
Which with the -1, it'd turn into a +6, wouldn't it?
Correct. -6x plus 6 equals y plus 5. You almost got y by itself. We'll just have to subtract 5.
Subtract 5. 1.
Is that good?
Hey, hold up 1 second.
Sure.
Okay, then there we go.
Did that make any sense?
Yes. Oh, wait a second. Oh. 1 second. There we go.
Any questions?
No.
All right. Okay. I'll leave you guys to question 5 because that's the same type of question as number 4. So if you followed that, or if you want to watch that part of the video again, we just did 2 of them. So this is just another one. Same thing. So I'll go to 6, question 6. Find the phase of the line that has the slope of -8 and an intercept of 1. Well, that one's pretty straightforward. Hopefully you see that. The slope is what letter did we say it was in this? Y equals mx plus b. What letter was the slope? M, right? So m should be -8. B is the other one, the y-intercept, so that should be 1. So that should just be -8 x plus 1 for me, for these numbers. That one's pretty straightforward. Is that okay? Question 7 is a point. Instead of 2 points now, they gave us a point with the slope. So what I did before is still going to work. I guess I can't bring it back. Remember I took the rise y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. I did the rise over run to find the slope. And I did the rise over run with a variable x and y to sort of get the x and y in my equation. Well, I basically only have to do the right-hand side because they gave me 1 point. And then they already gave me the slope, so I don't need the other point. I can just put in the slope. Whose numbers do we want to use this time? Anybody want to use their problems values? Okay.
I have the slope is negative 11. I have points as negative 4 and 62.
Okay. So when we do the rise over run on the left side last time, we found that the slope was some number. So I'm just going to write what the slope is, and that's my left-hand side.
Are we still on 4?
We finished 4. 5 was just like 4, so we skipped 5. 6 was really straightforward. I can come back to that in a second. We're now on 7. And we're just starting it.
Wait, if for number 6, if it says in y-intercept of 5, it would be 5.
Yeah. You just put the numbers where they're supposed to go, pretty much. Because the slope is m, right? We already went over that. And the intercept is b. Does that make sense? All right, for 7, we're doing it just like we did 4 and 5, I think. Or, yeah, 4 and 5. Only when we took the rise over run on the left-hand side, we found the slope. And this one, they already give us the slope. So that's my left-hand side. And then I'm just going to do y minus 62 over x minus a negative 4, which minus a negative makes plus. So I basically just skipped a step from the last version. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring this quantity on the bottom to the other side. That just leaves me the numerator on the right. Then we will distribute the negative 11. Then I got to get y by itself. Yeah. So what is that? 8?
8.
Yeah. Negative 11x plus 8.
It's 18.
Oh, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
What if I have a fraction?
You just put a fraction here.
So then, what would you do? X would be negative 11 because it's looking for the x and the y.
Let me read the question.
It says,
Oh, yeah. Negative 11.
Answer y equals blank x plus
Yeah.
y.
Yeah. So put
So
your,
would you just put in y equals negative 11 x
Yeah.
plus 18?
yeah, your slope from here is going to go straight there. And then whatever you find the leftover number is, put that.
Can you go back where you had the word down?
Yep. So in this one, before in the other problems, we did rise over run on one side with 2 points and we found the slope. And then we did rise over run with a variable point. And that's how we made the equation. This one, they actually just give you the slope. So you can just put that on the left and then use rise over run using a variable point and this point that they give you. And then it's just like the other one after that.
I don't, mine's confusing, so
What are your numbers?
-1/5. Well, I already have it wrote down, so -1/5 equals y minus 13 over x minus 5.
It goes y minus what?
Y minus 13 over x minus 5.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring the bottom over. So right. Then I'm gonna distribute the -1/5 onto both these. That's just so I get negative x 1/5 x. Then I get a positive 1 because 5 divided by 5 is 1, or 1/5 of 5 is 1. Equals y minus 13. So add 13. So the number you're looking for is 14. The slope they already gave you. All right, this one, number 8, is pretty straightforward. If I did mine, I could just set it up, like we have the slope, so 4 equals. And then I'm going to have a fraction, and that will be y minus a -8, so y plus 8 for me, and x minus 9. I don't know if it will accept that. It might. I can try that in a second. But otherwise, you can just you can move this x minus 9 over to the other side. So if I got rid of this here, I put it here instead. Parentheses. That's point slope form. I actually prefer point slope form the way we had it. This should work. I'm going to try it the other way though. I want to see if that other way will work. So y plus 8 on top, x minus 9. Let's see if it'll accept that. No. So I guess they do want you to move this denominator over here. That goes. Yeah, so they just want you to not have it as a fraction on one side. Bring the x minus whatever on the other side. Is that okay? For the next one, it's just like the 4 and 5 that we did before. You have going through the 2 points. So if I set up a fraction on one side and a fraction on the other side, on one side I'm going to have, let's say, 3 minus a -3. So look at the y values. That's 3 plus 3. And on the bottom, I'll have -2 minus a -8. So that's a plus 8. That's my left fraction. And if I simplify that, I'll get my slope. On the right, I can choose either point. I guess I'll choose the one with littler numbers. I'll do y minus 3 and x minus -2, which is x plus 2. And that's my setup. That's how I set that one up. It's not quite ready yet. I've got to figure out what this number is on the left. 3 plus 3 is 6. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Nice. Then if I move this over to the other side, the denominator, it multiplies by 1, essentially replaces 1. Oops, I copied over the 1. Was that that was x plus 2, right? So that would be it. Because the 1 distributed in doesn't change. So it's just like 4 and 5. Except they want it in this form, not the y equals mx plus b. They want it in the point slope form. This one they want in point slope form. So first thing we should do is find the slope for number 10. I guess I'll use my numbers since you can all see them up here. What's the difference in the y values? Negative 101 minus a negative 1, so that's plus 1. So I have negative 100 on top. That's the difference. And 17 minus 7 is 10. So my slope is negative 10. You'll notice that they all have negative 10 in them. That's the slope. For the other x and y things, you can have y minus either negative 1, or you can have y minus negative 101. Either point can be used. So that means when you subtract a negative, it will make a positive. So if I see y plus 1 and x minus 7, that'd be good. And I see that right here. If I see y plus 101 and x minus 17, that would also work. Those should be my answers. So first find the slope, and then you can use either point. So there should be 2 answers that work. And it's just y, do the opposite, plus that, and x minus that. Or do the opposite of these ones, y plus 1, x minus 7. The slope we kind of don't have to worry about because they give you they do use the same slope in every question, so you don't have an option. You guys okay on that one? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this one I think you just got to rearrange and plug in a point. So you want to get y by itself. So we'll subtract in mine. Or who's anybody want me to use their numbers for this one? Yeah. You want to use yours, or
I've already done that.
you already done that? Okay. Maybe I'll leave that one if nobody has questions on that one. Graphing. Are you guys okay with graphing?
I mean, I finished the rest of these segments.
Okay, good. For the graph, y equals 1. That's kind of a weird equation. That is a horizontal line for all points where y is equal to 1. So x could be anything. So I just got to click 2 places. I'm done. That's a horizontal line. If it was x equal to something, it'd be a vertical line. So x is negative 5. Any 2 points that have x equal to -5 would do it. This one's, yeah, just solving the equation. Hopefully you guys can do that from like Algebra 1. It's just a review. There are some videos if you need that. Yeah, otherwise these are just sort of more complicated ways of solving things. Let me know if you have any questions on those. Otherwise, I can give you time now to work on the rest of those, or we could start on a future assignment if you want. It's up to you. You guys have stuff to work on if you're done with this. I think the next thing, when it's stacked here, the next thing will be lines. I believe the first one is not too bad. Yeah, let's see how you guys do with that. This one's, I think, a little bit more conceptual, maybe. Like you have to match which equation goes with which line. Draw things. So yeah, I'll let you guys try that first.
We ask the others if you can examine the remaining.
Next time we'll, that was probably one of the videos. Next time we'll see how you guys are doing on this next one. But I'll give you the rest of the time to work, I guess. Is that all right? All right, let me know if you have any questions. You people remote learning at home, are you guys, you want to stay on? So if you have questions, you can ask, or?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I'll just leave you guys connected then.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just let me know if you have a question, okay? Otherwise, you can work quietly.
What are you watching over there? What? Do I want to take a look?
Somebody left the middle of
Okay.
Left a riddle?
Yeah.
You measure my life in hours, I serve you by expired. I'm quick when I'm fit, slow when I'm fast. This is my
A person?
Something like that. Like that. Ice cube?
I thought we were pasted in the Google.
I don't like cheese.
Send it to me now.
I was about to ask him that. It's like right in the Google.
I want someone if I got it now.
I'll find the answer. I'll give you the hints.
Kolb. Kolb.
Yes.
How you feeling, buddy?
Not very well right now.
You got Rona?
No, I just feel sick right now. It's not Rona. I just feel like I have like a fever or something.
Oh. Decent.
Yeah.
John,
Yeah,
how you feeling, bud?
feeling great, dude.
Wait, why can't we feel him? That's good, buddy.
Yeah. Well, got tested today, so we'll see though. Huh.
Or does it take a couple days?
Yeah.
I hope you're all right.
Yeah, me too. Huh.
You feel okay?
Yeah, I do. I just had to. I think everybody has to get tested, so
Sure.
yeah.
You're getting tested?
You always
Yeah.
do today, he said.
You already did?
Yep.
How'd it go?
It was weird.
Painful?
What?
Painful?
No, they just stick a needle up your nose. That felt nice. So, yeah, that's pretty good.
You have to get tested every month. Yeah, for work. But I do my own test. How do you do it? You stick a little needle thing all the way back in your nose so you like can't see it anymore. Like you got the other shit.
That's stupid.
It doesn't hurt after like the fifth time. That is. After like the fifth time you get done, you know.
I thought somebody said that if you like go to the hospital maybe, or like they do a mouth one instead of the,
Oh, I like the nose one better. The mouth one is just weird. Isn't the mouth one just around your cheek? The mouth one is like, well, sometimes they go back to your tonsils. That's unheard. God.
I heard they take a Q-tip, make you swallow it, and then when you dump it out.
no, pretty sure that's not the case.
I'd rather do that.
You can just say no like that. Like I heard that from a real source.
Oh,
You shut it down real
You know Heather?
No.
no. Highly suspicious of that one.
Well, they just heard you.
Highly suspicious, huh? Yeah.
So then you also know your- I mean, you get the full effect.
All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. We're gonna clean up in a couple minutes, so.
Adios.
All right, you guys have a good day.